admin account, and then it came from the general admin account into investment. So it
Right.
really,
Quite frankly, I'm glad it's in somebody else's hands.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have it if it wasn't. You know,
Okay. Continued discussion
so
on the Machado wastewater treatment facility.
a lot going on right now. Basically, we are still waiting for the state to give us the final approval for the money for the design of the wastewater treatment plant. We are doing as much as possible under the existing grant to continue our design efforts. But eventually, we're either going to have to start paying out of pocket for design work, or put the whole project on hold until we can get funding from the state. At this point, there's no indication from the state that they're going to make anything retroactive, so if we do anything outside of the grant that we have, then there may not be reimbursement for that. Currently, for the month of May, we used our max day was 86% of our design capacity. Our average day is 72% of our capacity, so we're pretty much steady at this point. I think, you know, we're in the summertime, it might go down a little bit, people going out of town, but it won't go down too much. Really, the only other thing I have to add is that through our communication with IWMA and interest in doing recycling options here, their board has approved $125,000 to help develop recycling in San Miguel, and specifically to build the facilities that we would need at the treatment plant to house recycling of e-waste, mattresses, and household hazardous waste. All of those options come with possibility for district staff to be paid for the district time it takes to take in those products and for them to be picked up. It would not be really at any cost to the district, which is why we're pursuing. Other than that, we have a year and 9 months before the clock runs out. I have a feeling that the rate we're going right now, assuming funding is available, then we could complete it within that timeframe. However, if the state delays until December to approve the grant money, if we don't move forward on our own dime for the plans, then we're not going to make that. We'll have to be pursuing an extension from the state to meet our obligations.
Different agency that wants to give us the money, I'm sure, so they don't see why this would occur.
State Water Control Board they're all for it. They're backing us pretty hard. DFA, who's holding all the money, is the one that's taking forever. So we already have all the engineering approval from the state DFA. We're just waiting for the higher up bosses to sign on the dotted line and say it's okay.
Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I have a comment. When that recycling center does come online, I encourage staff to maybe do a press release, because we could always use good publicity in the district instead of negative publicity, which we'll probably get some more with that ending court case.
Right now, we do take mattresses. That is going pretty well. So we're developing that. The recycling center itself wouldn't come in until we build the treatment plant.
We know that, but I'm just saying that when it's.
But we won't. We'll put it out there.
What is the likelihood of us getting an extension should we not meet our timeline?
This State Water is already aware that we don't have $6 million to pull out of the pocket. So I think that if we can prove to them that we're being diligent in our efforts to complete this project, and that it really is a funding problem, then either they're going to give us an extension or give us other options to pay for it. Like I said, State Water is already very supportive of the project. They want us to get it done, and they've made that perfectly clear to Department of Funding. So it really is just the guy at the top waiting to sign the line.
Going on vacation.
Is there any public comment?
Yeah, we're going to this waste management. Why should we
be involved in waste management, we have one of the best garbage companies around. You can recycle stuff there and everything.
Part of that is what we hold a contract with them.
Yeah, right, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I say, we don't need to be taking mattresses to our new water treatment plant when we have a garbage company that takes care of all that stuff.
So we do have a contract with San Miguel Garbage, and San Miguel will provide refuse service within San Miguel District.
Yeah,
They are a private contractor, they contract with other agencies and other areas throughout the county. They cannot provide the same service that we provide for free because they are a private contractor. If they collect mattresses on their own, which they've done in the past and they will continue to do outside of our service area, those mattresses that they collect, if they have to charge for them to collect them, and then because when they go take them down to get recycled, they get charged. The state laws are changing that are gonna require mattresses to be charged to take them to the landfill. Paso landfill used to take mattresses, but because of their change in management, decided to no longer take them. So, and with the state law coming down, it's gonna force more recycling. So if they did take them, they would have to recycle them. They wouldn't be able to just bury them.
This doesn't really help.
okay,
in those-
guys, how, if it's gonna cost, how are you gonna do it for free?
We-
We don't pick them up.
It doesn't
Bring
cost,
them to us.
it doesn't cost the district anything
Yeah,
to haul them off. That's how we do it for free.
yeah,
Once we have all this set up and this whole process is streamlined, we will actually be being paid to load the trailer that they pick up for free. So if you say you had a mattress at your house, and you want to get rid of it.
yeah.
You wanna get rid of it right now, you take it to the dump, it costs you $25.
Well, yeah.
You bring it to us, it doesn't cost you anything. You've already paid.
Well, who's gonna pay, San Miguel garbage?
It's my understanding that when you buy a mattress now,
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah,
part of the cost is a recycling fee.
yeah,
And that's allowing the government
yeah,
to set up a program.
yeah,
It's just like like your television set. When you buy a new TV, you pay a $5
yeah.
disposal.
The battery.
So the purpose of
That's
going
different,
after,
they're
the
gonna
purpose of
rebuild
going
it.
after mattresses and e-waste and household hazardous waste is to get it off the streets of San Miguel.
Right.
In the first 2 weeks that we had that trailer, we filled up a quarter of it with mattresses out of the alleys.
Cool.
So it's a program that seems to be helping. It's not costing the district hardly anything. And like I said, eventually, once it's all straightened out, we'll actually be being paid to load the trailer that they take away for free.
And it looks a lot better than having it parked across the street from my house where it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many mattresses were dumped over there?
There's one across the street from your house right now.
No, again.
Wait until after the grape harvest. You're gonna see couches and everything else.
Okay, back to the board. Is there any other questions or comments?
That item?
That is not a, action item, so we'll move to board comment. Is there any board comments?
I have a question for Helene. Do we have a district boilerplate contract for professional services that would include provisions or general terms and conditions, like indemnification and venue and so on and so on?
The district doesn't,
No?
I do.
I'm still
Okay.
up for it.
So are we making use of yours when we're contracting for public or professional services?
So typically what happens is we will get a contract from Moss Levy, for example, we'll just use them. And ideally, I would review the contract and those provisions about termination. I typically always like those boilerplate provisions and then make sure that the indemnification is both sides. It's not just on their side only,
Mutual.
so.
Yeah, okay, and do we do anything, so we're putting mutual indemnification, which is great. Do we do anything to prevent arbitration?
We can, if that's the board's direction, then yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay, is it possible that you can send a boilerplate contract for us to review and perhaps comment?
If Moss Levy sends the district a contract, I will be more than happy to review it. But if Moss Levy wants to have the district draft the contract, then I can do that.
That was a no.
That's a no.
Professional services agreement boilerplates are really hard. We don't have boilerplate templates. I have templates I've drafted before for professional services because each one's very different. They're not easy like employment agreements. Employment agreements are much easier to have boilerplates on.
Okay. All right.
You good with that?
Well, there are elements that I think that we should have in every contract. Limits of liability, indemnification, it's mutual, no arbitration. There are a lot of things that I deal with contractually today that I would probably want to incorporate in agreements that we're utilizing for the district. So having at least I wouldn't say a boilerplate template, but at least having a framework.
I have a checklist of provisions I always look for in contracts. Does that help you?
Want to send her
Yes.
yours?
I can send you mine.
I'm sure they're very
How about-
similar.
You can send yours and she can send you hers.
Yeah, we can mutually send ours.
Send you yours, send me mine.
Okay, well,
I say we get the best of both and make ours.
You good?
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah?
Actually, I was looking and I know that Mr. Roberson's been doing a great job as general manager and we want to give him all the tools to him to succeed, and CSD is having their annual conference at the end of September. That might be advantageous if Mr. Roberson went to that.
Well, if it's in Germany, I'd be more than happy to go.
Oh, yeah, so they're gonna be gone at the end of, through the entire month of September?
What's that?
They're gonna be gone for the entire month of September?
No, the end.
The end of September.
Well, the beginning of October.
Yeah.
But in order to leave for that period of time, I'll need to be here.
Are you going to Bavaria? It's like Oktoberfest.
Right?
The guy who doesn't drink.
I don't
think
drink,
those
so
might
I'll
be-
get you
have
some
to be-
Bronson Kraut though.
You won't be around.
No, when he's around.
Okay.
for one day.
Duly noted.
Costumes.
Duly noted, he
Yes.
said.
Anything else?
Do you need an excuse to wear leaderhoods?
Anything else?
No.
Okay, so I got a few things.
Okay.
In one of our audits in past years, I believe this is where this came from, but I remember we were going to put accounting procedures for your front office on paper. So that we had a policy on how everything is done, so that once we perfected it, it could be followed along and it could be passed on to others. And I don't believe that we ever got around to actually putting it on paper.
Are you talking about what part?
Accounting, front office accounting procedures, how invoices come in, where they go, how they're paid,
Okay, so not
how
the
they're
clerk stuff,
filed,
not the
ATO,
utility billing stuff.
the
When you say front office, I think utility billing and that kind of thing.
I'm talking about that too.
Okay, well,
Everything.
do have standard operating procedure manuals for
Okay,
at least my portion of things. I don't think accounting has ever been done.
okay. So I would like to see some effort put into that and brought to us at the November meeting. And that will give you ample time to work on that.
It may be called an SOP.
And I would like to get consensus from the board to direct staff to do so.
With the consensus, the board would like to see front office, utility billing, accounting SOPs.
So generally, SOPs aren't brought to the board for approval, you just want to see it?
If you have it.
To learn it.
Yeah, it's my understanding that there's nothing in print. Is that wrong? Do you
Well, I don't
have
know,
it?
that's not my,
Right?
that's not my area, I'm just saying
I
that
know
an
that,
SOP
I
really
know that
isn't.
we were going to develop it and put it on, and
The account clerk
publish it on
position
paper.
has SOPs.
Several little areas have procedures, but as one whole standing document, I don't think that exists.
can we do that?
As because it'll be breathing
Would everybody
document.
be in favor of seeing that?
Wouldn't mind looking at it.
What are we trying to achieve?
It wouldn't be an action item, it'd just be discussion, probably, right?
That we have
Kelly,
a
is that how
procedure
it goes?
that's supposed to be
Normally they
followed, and
wouldn't
if it's
approve
not, we
No, it wouldn't be any approval.
deal with it.
In our audit process, when they made,
We've had people not following the policy. invest.
Yeah.
And I'd like to protect the district for in the future.
In our audit process, they also audit come back with recommendations and things have been put in place to ensure that the security stuff is followed,
Right?
you know,
So
dual.
I just wanna see,
Yeah.
that on paper,
Yes,
where it can be looked at, and somebody can understand it, and know if somebody's not following that policy.
But if it doesn't exist, it
It's
won't
not a
happen.
policy.
What's that?
If it doesn't exist, it won't.
Standard
happen.
operating
Well, I think they
procedure.
can develop it.
It's, but John, it's not a policy. You need to know that. It's not a
Okay,
policy.
it's a procedure, a
Procedure.
procedure manual,
Yes.
SOP, call it whatever you want.
Standard
Is
operating
November
procedure.
enough time to do that?
we could generate
We
something.
can
for
try.
November.
Okay. And then, have you made it to the bank?
Yes, the only person who currently.
Today?
Yeah, I did, I signed everything, the only one.
Yeah, who
Today?
hasn't?
She said you have it.
You need to go down there and sign, she needs at least
Mr.
one signature from
Palafox
you.
contacted me, he went to the wrong bank and then he went to the right bank and was able to complete it also.
Yeah,
Today.
everyone.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about Pacific Premier Bank and the signature cards.
You were the one that
That's
started
been,
it.
we've been working
I
on
thought
it
you
for
did
3
it.
months.
Yeah, it's all
5
done.
months. It was
Carrie
not all
said all done.
I was in the bank yesterday, it was not all done.
Palafox and Calvin's had to go in and he was in there and did it too.
That's right.
You've been signing checks without the signature card?
I have emails
I think he
stating,
was on the old one.
yeah, but I have emails stating
We're still
everything
going off the
was
old one.
done and everybody
The
had
new
come
one's
in
not
and
in effect
signed.
yet, it's been almost a year.
I
That's
am
how it
not,
was done.
yeah, I have from Carrie,
Right.
it's
I
done.
Huh?
went in and signed
Huh?
something 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's,
What do we have?
Okay, so,
I just showed up.
moving on. Moving on.
John, I'm not on those and I don't sign.
We will call
Okay,
tomorrow.
they told me that you needed, there was one item there, I don't know if it's
Okay,
related,
I'll talk to her
but they
tomorrow.
needed your signature on something.
I
Like your
will-
birthday card, I don't know.
Your
Yeah.
ACH.
It's a very high honor.
Yeah, that's what it
It's a
is.
very high honor.
No, I'll get in contact with them because I was told it was all.
You're sharp, Scott.
Not looking.
District inventory,
We're
the
looking.
tagging, the tracking,
Property tagging.
uh-huh,
So we currently track pretty much everything that's over $100,
okay,
or that is gonna last for more than a couple of years.
okay.
So hand tools are not inventory. I mean, they're inventory, but they're not tagged.
Right, I agree.
They're not part of any replacement